Welcome to Global West. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In the shifting landscape of global power, BRICS has emerged as a major force, reshaping the way nations interact and collaborate on the world stage. What began as a simple economic term has now grown into a dynamic coalition that is challenging the traditional centers of influence. Over the years, BRICS has evolved from an economic acronym into a powerful geopolitical alliance, uniting some of the world's largest and fastest-growing economies under a shared vision for the future. Originally, the group consisted of Brazil, Russia, India, and China, four nations with vast populations and significant economic potential. In 2010, South Africa joined, bringing the African continent into the fold. More recently, the alliance has expanded further, welcoming Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the UAE, and Indonesia, reflecting its growing appeal and influence. Today, BRICS Plus represents nearly half the world's population, encompassing a diverse range of cultures, languages, and economies. Collectively, these countries account for over a third of global GDP by purchasing power parity, making them a formidable economic bloc. The bloc wields significant influence in global energy markets, controlling vast reserves of oil, gas, and other critical resources. BRICS Plus aims to create a more multipolar world, challenging the dominance of Western-led institutions and offering an alternative vision for international cooperation. With its own financial institutions, such as the New Development Bank, BRICS Plus provides development financing to member countries and partners, often without the political conditions imposed by organizations like the IMF or World Bank. This approach appeals to many nations seeking greater independence in their economic policies. The group's ultimate goal is to reduce reliance on the US dollar in international trade and finance, and to build a global system that better reflects the interests and aspirations of the Global South, giving a stronger voice to emerging economies. As of September 2025, BRICS Plus is expanding rapidly, attracting countries from every continent that are seeking strategic autonomy, economic opportunity, and a new global order that is more inclusive and representative. The growing list of interested nations, including major players like Saudi Arabia and Turkey, signals a profound shift in the world's balance of power. As more countries express interest in joining, BRICS Plus is poised to play an even greater role in shaping the future of international relations and global governance. For more than half a century, Turkey's top foreign policy ambition was to join the European Union, a goal that shaped its national agenda and inspired generations of leaders and citizens alike. This aspiration drove sweeping political, legal, and economic reforms, all aimed at aligning Turkey with European standards and symbolizing its modern, secular identity. Turkey formally applied for EU membership in 1987 and was officially recognized as a candidate in 1999. Yet, despite these milestones, accession talks have repeatedly stalled and progress has been painfully slow. The process has been blocked by persistent concerns over human rights, the state of democracy, and the unresolved Cyprus dispute, which remains a major sticking point in negotiations. Many ordinary Turks feel the EU has shifted the goalposts over the years, admitting other countries more quickly while Turkey's path remains uncertain. This has fueled suspicions of cultural or religious bias and deepened a sense of injustice. Decades of waiting in limbo have eroded public enthusiasm for the EU project, leaving many to question whether Turkey truly belongs in the Western fold or if it should chart its own course. Today, the relationship is marked by mutual distrust, negotiation fatigue, and a sense that Turkey's candidacy is effectively frozen, with little hope for revival in the near future. As the dream of EU membership fades, Turkish leaders are being forced to reconsider their foreign policy priorities and look for new opportunities beyond Europe. The sense of unfulfilled promises and growing frustration is now driving Turkey to seek out new alliances, particularly with emerging powers in Asia, the Middle East, and beyond. Understanding this long and complicated journey is crucial to grasping why Turkey, once so committed to joining Europe, is now increasingly turning eastward in search of a new role on the world stage. With EU accession talks stalled for years and little progress in sight, Turkey is actively seeking new alliances to secure its future and expand its global influence. The country's long-standing frustration with the slow pace and shifting demands of the European Union has prompted Ankara to look for alternative partners who share its ambitions and respect its sovereignty. In this context, BRICS has become a prime focus for Turkish foreign policy, offering a fresh avenue for engagement beyond traditional Western institutions. Turkish officials, including Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, have openly acknowledged the need to diversify partnerships beyond the West, emphasizing the importance of building bridges with emerging powers and dynamic economies. BRICS offers Turkey access to vast markets, development funding, and a platform aligned with its vision of a more just and multipolar world order. By engaging with BRICS, Turkey hopes to boost trade, attract investment, and play a more influential role in shaping global economic rules. In 2024, Turkey formally applied to join BRICS, a move welcomed by Russia and seen as a strategic pivot that could redefine Turkey's place in the international system. For Ankara, BRICS membership is about seizing economic opportunity, gaining strategic autonomy, and leveraging its unique position as a bridge between East and West. Turkey aims to use this new alignment to strengthen its bargaining power on the world stage. This is not an abandonment of the West, but a pragmatic effort to maximize leverage, assert independence, and ensure Turkey's interests are protected in a rapidly changing world. Turkey's application signals a deliberate and calculated shift, born from decades of frustration with the EU and a desire to chart a more self-determined path. Strategic autonomy through BRICS is now central to Turkish foreign policy, reflecting Ankara's ambition to be a key player in both regional and global affairs. Turkey's BRICS ambitions pose a major challenge to its ties with the EU and NATO. The EU expects candidate countries to align with its policies, but Turkey's alignment has dropped to record lows. Joining BRICS, which includes rivals like Russia and China, would be seen as a clear break from the West. Within NATO, Turkey's credibility is already strained by its purchase of Russian weapons and reluctance to sanction Russia. BRICS membership could further erode trust, raising doubts about Turkey's reliability as a partner. Some in Ankara see this as leverage, hoping to force the West to re-engage on better terms. But the risk is high. Turkey could end up isolated, distrusted by both sides. This high-stakes balancing act will define Turkey's future in the Western alliance system. BRICS expansion is reshaping global governance, bringing together major energy producers and populous nations to challenge Western dominance. The bloc's diversity accelerates the shift from a US-led unipolar world to a more multipolar system. Many global South countries see BRICS Plus as a platform to push for reforms and build alternatives to Western-controlled institutions. The return of Donald Trump to the US presidency has fueled uncertainty, making BRICS Plus more attractive as a hedge against unpredictable US policies. BRICS offers resilience against sanctions and trade disputes, appealing to countries seeking stability. Western critics worry BRICS could shield authoritarian regimes, but internal divisions like India-China disputes limit its unity. The bloc's influence is growing, but its effectiveness as a unified force remains uncertain. BRICS Plus is less an anti-Western alliance and more a coalition of countries seeking greater autonomy. BRICS Plus members share a desire for a multipolar world, but their reasons for joining are diverse. For Iran, BRICS is a lifeline to bypass sanctions and expand trade outside the Western system. The UAE seeks to cement its status as a global trade hub, balancing East and West without antagonizing either. Egypt and Ethiopia are drawn by development financing and a stronger voice for Africa on the world stage. Indonesia aims to avoid being caught in US-China rivalry, using BRICS to reinforce its independent foreign policy. Each member pursues its own interests, making BRICS Plus a flexible, evolving coalition rather than a monolithic bloc. This diversity is both a strength and a challenge, shaping the bloc's future direction. BRICS Plus is united by pragmatism, not ideology. As of September 2025, Turkey stands at a crossroads, its future between the West and the rising East. If accepted into BRICS, Turkey would undergo its most significant geopolitical shift in modern history, likely ending its EU dream and straining NATO ties. The coming months will reveal whether BRICS fast-tracks Turkey or internal divisions slow the process. Meanwhile, Turkey may use its BRICS bid as leverage with both the EU and US, seeking better deals without fully committing. This balancing act could yield short-term gains but risks long-term isolation. Turkey's choices will shape not just its own destiny, but the future of global alliances. The world is in flux, and Turkey's next move will be a bellwether for the new world order. At the crossroads of continents, Turkey is once again at the center of global transformation.